Brian Goldsby was on the hot seat under arrest and facing tough questions about the kidnap, rape, and murder of Reagan Tokes.
I ain't shoot nobody, man.
But the convicted sex offender blamed it on someone else.
His story at the end of everything was that TJ made him rape her at gunpoint, and that TJ was the one that shot her.
But cops already had plenty of evidence suggesting otherwise, and they were about to have a whole lot more. At the time of Reagan Tokes' murder, Brian Goldsby was wearing a court-ordered GPS ankle monitor because of a prior violent offense.
We all think that the monitor on his ankle is somehow going to keep us safer from the criminal, but it doesn't work that way.
No.
Brian Goldsby's ankle monitor pinged his location every minute. However, no one was keeping track of the pings.
What's the point of electronic monitoring unless you're going to be able to detect conduct that isn't appropriate based on his terms?
If someone had been keeping tabs on Goldsby's ankle monitor, they may have known he regularly missed curfew, a parole violation that would have sent him back to prison.
What good is it after the fact? And what kind of a message are you sending to a violent felon who was released if they know they're wearing the ankle monitor and they break the rules associated to that and nothing happens?
Even more egregious, pings from Goldsby's ankle monitor placed him at the exact location of several violent robberies near campus in the weeks leading up to Reagan's murder, but no one noticed.
And if the parole people were putting two and two together, they could have seen that and perhaps arrested him.
Instead, on the night of February 8th, 2017, Brian Goldsby is seen getting on and off city buses in a busy part of town not far from the campus of Ohio State University.
This man was trolling the neighborhood looking for a victim.
At 7:49, he gets off the bus for the last time.
He was just walking up and down streets in the Short North area, which has a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars, a lot of nightlife.
Shortly after 9 o'clock, Reagan leaves the Bodega restaurant where she worked as a waitress. Walking to her car, their paths cross.
The GPS placed him right where she parked her car.
By his own admission, Goldsby forces Reagan into her car and they drive to an ATM. At 10:04, an attempt to withdraw $500 is declined. Then they go to another ATM, and again, the transaction is declined.
After that, they went to an alley where they were stationary for about 12 minutes, and that's where we believe that she was raped.
The DNA swabs we took from him showed that the semen that was removed from Ms. Tokes was a match to him.
At 10:32, they return to the first ATM and Reagan withdraws $60.
They leave that area and they drive around and return back to the Bodega bar, where they are there for a few minutes.
Goldsby tells cops he returned to pick up some of his belongings that he had stashed in an alley.
But at this point, though, I'm sure everything would have been closed, so there wouldn't have been anybody to help her.
Well, it was the area that they went back to. It was an alley. It was just behind the bar area.
After driving around a bit more, cops say it appears the two were heading to the park where Reagan's body was found when they suddenly make a U-turn.
The GPS turns around and heads back north to Stringtown Road, and they end up at a gas station.
And what happens there?
The video there is very poor again, and you can see someone getting out and pumping gas into the car.
At 11:43, Reagan's car pulls out of the gas station parking lot. Her next stop would be her last. According to Goldsby's ankle monitor, they drive to that nearby park. He's there for only 3 minutes. Grove City Detective Rick Fournay tells us what investigators believe happened in the park.
What happened in those 3 minutes?
In those 3 minutes, he made her take off all her clothes, marched her out to the field, shot her in the back of the head.
It's awful.
It was terrible.
Did he share anything about what Reagan said or anything like that?
He did. He said that one of her last words, she told him, "I just want to live."
After leaving the park, Goldsby is seen on security video at 12:18 buying a gas can at a Speedway gas station. The same gas can was found in Reagan's car 2 days later, just a few blocks from the group home where Goldsby lived. During his interrogation, Goldsby admits he tried burning the car.
You could see some charred parts on the seat where he attempted to do that, but it was unsuccessful.
It was a most fortunate failure. If the car had caught fire, the cigarette butt which led to his arrest likely would have never been found.
He's not a very good arsonist.
Brian Goldsby would ultimately stand trial on 9 counts, including aggravated murder, aggravated robbery, kidnapping, and rape.
Unless they present proof beyond a reasonable doubt, your verdict must be not guilty.
Goldsby didn't take the stand in his own defense, but a video of his interrogation was played for the jurors in which he claims someone named TJ killed Reagan.
He shoots her back in the head the first time. She paused. He shot her again when she landed on her gun. This is the first time I've ever seen somebody get killed in my whole life.
However, 3 witnesses testified that Goldsby told them he did have a gun the night Reagan was abducted.
I went to pick up the coat. It was heavy, and I knew it was heavy, so I was like, what's in here? And he said his gun was in there.
And the most damning testimony of the trial would come from Goldsby's girlfriend. Prosecutor Ron O'Brien reminds the jury what she said.
He finally told, who's the mother of his child, who's visiting him in the jail, that I did it. I killed that girl for her money. $60.
Goldsby's girlfriend also told jurors that on the night of the murder, he gave her the $60 he stole from Reagan, along with Reagan's Kate Spade purse, as a Valentine's Day gift.
Is that the purse that Mr. Goldsby gave you?
Yes, that's the purse.
Demented. I don't have any other words for it.
I can think of some, but I don't want to say them to you.
Detective Fournay says at the time, Goldsby's girlfriend had no idea where the purse came from.
She asked him, "Why are you giving me a purse that looked like it's been used?" And he said that's just how he wanted to give it to her.
Up next, will testimony and DNA put Goldsby away for good? The defense only needs one juror to buy Brian Goldsby's story.
Members of the jury, they have absolutely not met their burden of proof on that.
Plus, Brian Goldsby addresses the Tokes family directly in court.
Today I would like to... The other thing I have to say is, please have mercy on me.
Did that just turn your stomach?
Yes, it did.